That's the problem they want to run.
Wow.
Interesting.
So, ThunderTalk draft away the Senna. This is going to get matched 5-6. This Senna does open up all kinds of things for the ThunderTalk bottom lane, where S-Torcane has been playing very well. I'm curious if we'll see maybe a Galio come through there, a Gragas come through there, and be hard carries.
Ooh, Lucian.
This is interesting. Rolster pivoting a little bit earlier in the game, Pastry. This is more reminiscent of what Rolster do domestically, where they win around the second Dragon team fight, around the 10 to 15 minute mark, as opposed to in these late game 20-minute marks.
Chris back on Lee, I do like that. I think he's been excellent on the pick so far. Not much reason to change that here. I'm guessing this does kind of signal that Ezek's going to be playing Ziggs, and it's going to be Luna's Lucian, but I guess I will leave the door open for Ratel's Lucian as well.
We'll keep our eye on that, as the Lucian could go anyway, but I do expect it to go in Luna's hands. What do you pull out mid for Ratel though? He's seen the pick, he has counter pick now, Darius down.
Yeah, not much left. I actually like that pick a lot for that reason, so it is Olaf, which could be top, could be jungle. There is flexibility there.
Rolster do play Olaf top. This is a thing that happens in the WCK. I don't like it very much. I don't think it's especially good, but it is all right into Darius because his CC doesn't land. I think I would, until there is evidence otherwise, I would expect that to be in the jungle though.
Alright, well
oh, that's the evidence.
Alright, well it's not going to be this, as Nunu was picked in. But
So,
what if it was center mid though?
I assume it's not going to be your center mid.
It's definitely not going to be center mid.
But I will give you...
But I am very prepared if it somehow is.
If it is center mid, I will just give you like 20 seconds. You can just talk about your solo queue.
You know what's been great for me? That's all the people need to know.
Yeah, only if it gets
Alright. It's good. It's Orianna. We're back at Orianna, which narratively is very interesting too. I'll let you chat first.
Well, I think the biggest marker here is that ThunderTalk has stolen the late game away from Rolster. They do have the Lee Sin to kind of bridge that gap, but they are playing to Senna, Orianna, the late game. Rolster on the opposite side do have a late game threat that Olaf gets multi-scary, Ziggs does all right in the late game, but their power spike is going to be a little bit earlier around this Lucian. They've got the clear CC train built up, Nunu into Nami. They're going to try and use that to win mid-game teamfights, and that means they're going to have to move a mine faster than they did in the other 4 games of this series.
Which has not been a strength for Rolster. They are the 20-minute team. I feel like the matchups here are Z versus Ratel and KT versus the clock. And if they make it to 20 minutes, it's double thumbs up and they win. If not, typically things fall to pieces.
Yeah, and not this game. Though they will still have late game power, it's not going to be the same. The Senna, the Orianna, the biggest late game powerhouses available in a draft are both over on ThunderTalk, thanks to some very shrewd drafting. And that means this game 5 of the semi-final, the single game that determines which team advances to play Darkun in the grand final of the Ryzen Cup, is going to be completely different from every game we've seen so far.
Wouldn't have it any other way for a game 5. And the thing I was going to say, you know, for the Z, the player we've talked about for ThunderTalk this whole time, it is very fitting to me that if he's going to qualify and make it to that final, it'll be on Orianna, a champion I kind of want to say he's learnt or relearned as he's played through the tournament, because his day 1 Orianna was very different from today's Orianna.
Day 1 Orianna was like mayonnaise. Here in the semi-finals, it's spicy pastry.
It is very spicy, that is true. The other thing is, like, ThunderTalk, if they're gonna go later, play 5v5, it's gonna be a team. They're gonna out-team fight KT.
That's what the Orianna draft does insist on. If you draft an Orianna, you are demanding that your team organize in front of you. And I think what's most interesting about that is it is a bet on Z, but it is also Z betting on his teammates. Z leading into the team that ThunderTalk has built over the course of this tournament.
Exactly!
As they step forward in Game 5 with their tournament lives on the line.
Nice and easy to remember how long this roster's been together, because it's the exact same length as Horizon Cup. As we'll see what happens here. It is the 5th and final game of tonight. We will find out who is going to be playing in the grand final up against Darkun Gaming. Will it be the all-Chinese affair with ThunderTalk qualifying? Will it be Rolster completing the reverse sweep and showcasing a rivalry that we have seen many times in esports?
The earliest jungle presence is going to be a bit of a race. You can expect Doe to arrive pretty early in lane. He's got Nunu, but Chris can fight dead lane. First 2-3 levels because, of course, they're on Lee Sin. So, this game is going to start scrappy.
Early gold for Rattel there as well. It takes a little bit out of the mid lane there for Isaac. Yep. Seen this already from him.
Isaac on the scenes is playing a waiting game, but you're keeping things at a distance. So you share some of that XP with Rattel, boosting him about a level ahead if everything goes to plan.
Also, I think has some focus on the bottom side of the map. Really from something we haven't seen much in this series. We had that one game where Chris went bottom lane and set up Azure, but it's really been the top side, which makes sense given the positioning of the carries in this series. But I think especially for the Rolster side, Luna's going to have to get aggressive, which is not something he really does in the 2v2.
No, Luna is the master of kiting. Luna is the master of hiding behind his carries and team fights. This game is going to demand that Luna play aggressively in that Lucian. More so, it's going to be dependent on Doe's early presence in lane. Do they early gank with Senna in order to shut that down?
Rattel already forcing Daria actually out of favor, yeah. The Pocket Olaf coming out nicely here in the early stages of this game.
Even before Ragnarok's online, the Darius trading pattern kind of demands people be up close, and then he wants to separate. And Olaf is very good at just staying up close and personal.
Rattel even roaming down for the crab. Are they giving him... Yeah, they are. He's just taking a little bit of extra here. I love that play. Wait, is there a crab? Am I going crazy? There is a crab there.
All right, Paisley.
I'm not losing it. You're losing it.
Game 5 taking its toll. This crab will indeed go over to Chris. Was it ever really there? Don't ask Pastry.
Yeah,
he's going to go for an invade. Wow.
Very obviously not a jungler, as Chris. He's going to try it. Doe is here, though. Chris does not know. And the team does. So now it could be trouble. The rest of the squad are roaming up. Chris is like, aha. I see what's going on. Oh, he missed it. He can't steal it. Oh, there we go. Back in. Oh, he got it.
He stole it! I don't know what to make of this!
That's very casual, but he did get it. I like that.
Everything went wrong for ThunderTalk. Rolster had the perfect opportunity. Chris still manages to make away with the blue buff.
Great success then. As Chris, ooh, early executioner's calling.
Yeah, I will say one of the things that matters a lot in this game is just the early game tempo. And what we're seeing right now, where Rolster are having to fight to defend their own buffs, where they're having to fight inside their own jungle because of Chris's presence, that may decide this series.
Already kicked him, but not going to follow onto Isaac, but a lot of damage done here, opening up some space for Z, as Chris continues to take farm away, and Rattel almost solo killed Faber. Hey?
And this is the performance that won them games number 1 and 2. Chris dominating in the jungle on this Lee Sin, and continuing to steal away everything he can, forcing Doe to fight for table scraps.
Yeah, I think he did manage to smite that Raptor away, did Doe, but still not what he really wants to be doing with his time. As Faber has got himself the bell. But watch this one again here. How did this almost happen for Rattel?
Well, you see this Olaf is going to walk.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Very quick fingers, by the way, from the center. Faber, happy to have Azure awake and ready to go with a very quick Dawning Shadow.
And there's just nothing you can do if you're the Darius aside from this. You can ping the ult. Like, Rattel burned ult. Unfortunately, because it's Wildrift, it'll be back up soon.
Here comes Chris, looking for the kick. Doesn't grab it just yet. Dodges the bubble, though. The tidal wave's going to connect, and oh my goodness, the snowball is rolling on in. The first blood's still available. Zig's dunk is there, and Doe is going to get it. Now it's Doe's left for Davis. Rolster is going to find 2 kills.
Rolster with a massive double kill! Finally finds their early game tempo exactly where we asked them to. It's down in the bottom lane. Luna benefiting from both kills. The actual gold getting passed over to Doe, enabling them to build a frontline tank that ThunderTalk are going to struggle to work through in this mid game.
Watch this one again. ThunderTalk a little more than they could chew here in the Axe replay.
Luna with a very good calling, an instant response by Salem from that tidal wave the second they realized that they might be able to find an over-aggressive Lee Sin. And that's exactly what they need to do as Rolster. Punish everything ThunderTalk are giving.
Doe is behemoth right now on this Nunu.
Don't do this, Rattel.
Sunfire came there. Rattel thinks better of it.
He wasn't checking for vision. They had a ward in there, so I genuinely don't know why Rattel was thinking about walking into a 1v3.
Walking into a different 1v3. Chris
got
the Q. He's
got ult.
He buys in. Chris is there. My goodness, he does a lot of damage, but there's Dawning Shadow, and there's the dunk out of Feyby for the kill.
Chris burning. 1 HP. Chris survives, and he picks up the gold as well.
Techno going in, but he's pretty strong on this stick, so Feyby's going to have to back out of there. And the thing that they want is the side they want to win on here. Rolster got the bottom lane tower off that.
Easy. In trouble here.
Doesn't feel worth it. They just can't do anything. Ezek just clears the wave and chills out. Now Z's here. They're going for everything. Shockwave hits. Not enough damage. Almost enough damage, but now Ratel's back. Z's flashing back, now going to try and make it happen. That W missing might cost Z his life here.
Ratel doesn't have ulti, and that means he can't close the distance. This slows the center route. They're too scary. And he will back away, but he does a good call in the midst of all that, Julian. And that is that Rolster did manage to contribute that bot lane turret into Luna's bank account. He's now a very big Lucian, and it's freed up Salem. Salem no longer charged with escorting that Lucian. Your bottom lane can come up here and protect Ratel against the pressure that's going his way.
This gold lead for Rolster. This is looking like early ThunderTalk in the first open games of the series.
A very good sign for them. But look at ThunderTalk, wow, just completely committed to killing Ratel. They know he's a carry player, and they are devoting all of their resources to getting this kill. Because after games 1 through 5, they are certain that if they can shut down Ratel, they can win this game.
There's a trade as well. They don't get the kill, but they do get the tower. That is nice here for ThunderTalk. It's not enough to close the gold gap, but it does cut it in about half.
They'll need to reset though, and that leaves Rolster with complete command in the middle of the map. They're going to press forward here with the Ziggs. They might be able to do turret damage.
Really nice from Z to stop that culling. But it's just wave clear duty. Like, Z's not going to have that offensively now if ThunderTalk want to make a play.
Cooldown's relatively long.
Herald here. ThunderTalk trying to crack open the mid tower. They couldn't get in game number 4. We're going to get the charge off here.
Toe carries the route into Luna. And that means that the Rift Herald charges. A little bit of trolling, just for the team, just for the boys.
Well, still got, 850 HP left on the tower, so not dead just yet, but, noodling around does happen sometimes. He's going to snowball wherever he wants. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Mostly it's good.
I don't think that Rolster should subscribe to this ideology that you're pitching, Julian.
Yeah, I do agree that, stylistically, doesn't seem like they line up with that kind of style. The free-form jazz Nuno. I think they're much more rigid and classical.
This is a very interesting way of rebranding a Nuno that just runs it down in my games.
Does he even have sweeper? I think he's fine. Don't get the pass from him.
ThunderTalk playing very defensively right now, and again, this is a flip of previous games. The pressure is on Rolster to do something into Oriana's Senna, which is going to get so scary towards the 15-minute mark. They need to fight now if you're Rolster. This window, around the 8 to 10-minute mark, is their strongest. They're going to get worse and worse, I think, as Luna's going to start falling off. They'll still have damage in the late game, but they'll have to fight into the peak performance of ThunderTalk.
Feyby and Azua just chilling out, knowing the pressure is coming here in the top side of the map. There is a Rift Herald up in 20 seconds that Rolster are looking to play for.
Joe scared away here. This Rift Herald would be big for Rolster. It would open up the middle of the map, which is their main goal right now. They can lock down this mid turret. That means that further objectives go their way, and that mitigates the lane. Their goal here, by picking up Drakes, is to give themselves tools to work with. As we go later in this game, this Senna, this Oriana get bigger and bigger.
Dragon's up as well. Chris has been down the bottom lane this whole time, actually, so I'm looking going to try and set up for this Dragon, but here comes Ratel on the flank. Azua completely out of position.
Ratel
pulls the trigger, but doesn't find the axe. They now reset the Dragon, so a bit awkward here for Rolster.
And ThunderTalk are completely out of position. Look at Luna just poking over the wall. Here comes Ratel.
Ziggs ulti down. They're going to try and dodge it. Here's Ratel going in again. Pops the Ragnarok. Azul with the Dawning Shadow going to try and save the day. X12K barely live. Ratel barely lives. And somehow everyone's walking away.
Nobody dies in a 5 versus 5 team fight at game number 5 for both teams' tournament hopes. As Rolster back away, are forced to back away. It's a good execution of their sequence. But ThunderTalk are very aware of what's about to hit them. You see this instant kite come out from them. Azure helping the team back away from that threat.
And Chris just keeps the wave going, trying to pressure this bottom side tower, still open up more space around this Dragon. time for a reset now for ThunderTalk. They have made their way back here, and Z's ulti's cooling off very quickly.
Around the Drake, ThunderTalk do have vision set up and they're starting to push forward. They use Feibai and S12K as their front line, try to position Z and Azure behind it, just poking out damage. If Rolster want to win this fight, they need to get Rattel in specific into that backline, give him access to Z.
Z also poking here in this siege. ThunderTalk are trying to open up space before they get onto this dragon. They're being patient here. Not something we've really had to see from them, honestly, but very Rolster-like, honestly, in this situation.
Yeah, ThunderTalk playing patiently and slowly in this mess.
I'm going to take it back in a moment because Chris, a little too close to the Olaf, he's going to dash away. Great shockwave out of Z, but no follow-up, and he lost a lot of health in the trade there. And now S12K is locked up, and that should be a kill. No, not yet. The Dawning Shadow going to save him temporarily, but Chris can't find it. Gets the kick instead. Kicks Luna into the team, and he's dead. Chris has found the play that might save them here. As Feibai now roams on in.
And ThunderTalk see Rattel on the bottom side of the map and they pull the trigger. They know they can play aggressive. There is no tool to gain access to the backline. The only thing they need to do is shut down Luna, and they do exactly that. Chris, the hero, yet again for ThunderTalk.
High value bomb there for Isaac to cancel 2 recalls, but they're just going to take the 2 kills, 2-for-1 trade in favor of ThunderTalk, reset it up, and look again, TJ. That gold lead, less than 1,000 now. Chris is even starting the Drake.
Spotted by this Redemption, very well played. Here comes Salem to try and harass. He doesn't have the safety. Watch S12K on this flank. This is so dangerous for Rolster.
Here as well, though, there's the Ziggs bomb down. Feibai spinning on in, they're on to Doe. Luna again, but now Doe's completely isolated. He's dead! No, he's not dead yet. He now finally falls to Feibai. Senna now trying to get the roots down, and there's a double kill. Feibai's popping up, but Rattel is going to dive back through. Who gets the dragon? Doesn't matter right now, because Senna's slain the enemy, and now the rest of ThunderTalk are diving on in, and Chris is just comboing everyone into oblivion, including that Mountain Drake.
A perfect team fight for ThunderTalk. They do find the Drake in the midst of all that, and Rolster can't respond to the quick map movement of ThunderTalk. Oh, Isaac.
Azure is playing with fire. What a dodge. Dawning Shadow gets the Q down. One last order. Dodges in for the Q. Dodges between the tower. That's the ace for ThunderTalk.
Azure, what was that? He flashes forward to find the kill, secure the turret, and make sure that this team fight finds its maximum possible conversion. As Joe gets caught out early here, separated from the team. The tidal wave tries to repair the situation, but the damage is done. ThunderTalk can organize their front to back with Feibai soaking up all of the damage, and nobody on Rolster able to access the backline. See, Azure, they're just free firing. Nobody even touches them during this team fight.
Thread the needle through the eye of the storm there. As you can see, the ThunderTalk camp starting to get excited, starting to see the finals on the horizon.
See a grand finals in their future, and all they need to do is keep this pace. ThunderTalk have the late game damage advantage. The only thing that goes wrong for them is the next few minutes where Rolster can force a sketchy team fight, use Rattel in particular. And look at this, Rattel's caught off.
Chris is going to force the Ragnarok on his own. He has been an absolute superstar for the team this series. And this game, maybe his best work yet. S12K trying to make it happen under Isaac, Dawning Shadow. Going to keep the team safe as Zig chucks out the bomb to try and defend.
Rattel in trouble here.
He knows it. Oh, gets tagged. Feibai walks up to the tower instead. They're going to try and finish this off.
Doe roaming in here, Rattel just struggling on the Olaf. It's not the hard carry he wanted. By eliminating literally the entire top character pool, ThunderTalk have forced Rattel to play a champion that he does not feel comfortable on. And you are seeing it as ThunderTalk press forward. They're down to just the inhibitors now.
This gold lead is massive on the ThunderTalk side, and they are the team that, again, they're the 20-minute team this time around, and they have a gold lead of the mid-game team.
And 4 turrets stand between ThunderTalk and their shot at the Horizon Cup, their shot at the Grand Finals.
So for Rolster, a team that is not used to being in this situation, they are the team that look to the clock and see if the first number is a 2, and if it's not, they just 5 and wait until it is. They do not get that luxury this game.
Rolster, I think, have passed the point of no return, frankly. I do not think there is a point at which this game gets better more than at this point. They are always going to be fighting from a disadvantage from here until the end of the game. And if they want to change that, they must step forward and force disadvantaged fights for ThunderTalk. That means around the Baron, around this upcoming Elder Infernal Drake, which may once again decide a game in this series.
Chris is not even interested in the objective, by the way.
No.
He's like fighting people.
Because ThunderTalk understands the only way they lose this game is those disadvantaged fights. So why start the Dragon? Why start the Baron? This is why Rolster are so infamous for taking their time in late games, because they win the late games usually. But this time, Game 5 of the semifinals, that is no longer true.
Alright, well, not only are they pressuring this Baron, not only is Chris a side laner now, apparently, but there is 15 seconds until the Infernal Dragon is up. And it is not just any Infernal Dragon, it's the biggest one of all. It's the spiciest one.
It is the Elder Infernal for the ticket to the Grand Finals. For Rolster and ThunderTalk's tournament lives, they must walk up here and just 5v5 for the game.
For ThunderTalk, it all but seals this game for them. For Rolster, it just keeps them alive. I don't know if it even wins them the game, but they have to fight for it. And Doe
That was
just
blind
blind spots him. They just predicting where the Nunu is sitting, and Chris has found the kick that might be the game. Doe flashes out
TP.
though.
Ratel's too far forward on this TP. He's in trouble.
No, the Ragnarok now is going to have to join the fight as Zua's cutting it out of sea. Flashes out as well, Dawning Shadow picks up the Ola. There's Doe dead. They can't do it anymore. It's Fei-Bai diving into the backside, dunking onto Isaac. He's going to take down the Ziggs, and Luna is going to try and save the game, but Salem is dead. It's only Luna left alive, and that is the game.
That's the semi-final as ThunderTalk win a team fight around this Elder Infernal Dragon, and they find a complete ace. They find the win they so badly needed, and they've got a 3-2 series victory.
Don't need the game. The next is all they'll take. It is going to be the All-Chinese Finals here at the Horizon Cup as ThunderTalk take down Rolster.